Hi guys, how are you doing? We're still here on Fussa, part 2. Behind us is this magnificent machine. I think she's a 701 Massey Harris baler. She's around 1952 or 53. And we have, turn the camera the other way, fool. We have a 1960, 40, probably 40, fordson major, e27n conversion. These would originally have had a 4-cylinder petrol engine. There's a bit of a story going with them. I'll tell you the story, and we'll be telling you the story. Brendan is going to start up the engine. We're going to get a look at him starting it, and he's going to do a bit of bailing. Alright? This is exciting stuff, lads. This is as good as it gets. This is me now in my absolute element. Alright? We'll turn the camera and we look at Brendan and we tell the story. That's Brendan. Brendan! Alright, that's it. On Brendan, that's it. And we give him back, we stopped him. Alright, we'll turn the camera. Massey Ferguson behind us. Dusty. And we'll give a look at the whole carry on. Alright, I'll tell the story. We'll tell the story of Massey Ferguson and Massey Harris as we go. What a fantastic machine. Massey Harris 701 baler and a Fordson e27n. Brendan's gonna start up the machine here for us. An Armstrong Siddeley engine in the back of it, no PTO. His hand there is on top of the decompression. Watch the decompression valve now when he swings her over. Throw it, off she goes, just like that. He has to go around the other side now, and he has to squeeze up the tensioner for tensioning the belt. And we'll walk up the field and we'll be getting them. What we can figure out is Massey Harris, these are American built balers, and they shipped them in, actually just starting to move now, they shipped them in packages, in parts to England, where they were actually assembled in the UK. And the English built ones have what we call an Armstrong Siddeley engine, and the American built ones have a Continental engine. Built sometime in the very early 50s, just at the very start of the merger with Massey Harris and Harry Ferguson. There she goes. We'll go over this side now and watch him as he's coming up the field. The story with the Fordson is a similar enough story. She's a 6-cylinder e27n. Fordson never built, well they did, but they didn't at the start. She would originally, this tractor originally would have had, it would have been a 4-cylinder petrol engine. And the story has it that Mr. Perkins was a fairly sizable farmer. And Mr. Perkins bought 4 of these to plough his farm. But after buying them, he discovered that they didn't have the get up and go, they didn't have the power or whatnot to plough, or the tree for a plough. So he must have been a serious inventor. He came up with the idea of the 6-cylinder engine, and he fitted a 6-cylinder engine to them. A 6-cylinder diesel, they would have been 4-cylinder petrol. He fitted the 6-cylinder diesel engine to them and given him enough get up and go, enough grunt to plough his farm. So when he converted the 4 of them, and then Fordson, Ford and Son, that's what it is. When they discovered this, they decided they were going to take it on. So they started buying engines off of Perkins. And they bought a 4-cylinder and they bought a 6-cylinder, which this is a 6-cylinder now. And Ford, actually, this was an option. You could actually, as far as I know, it was kind of an aftermarket, but Ford in, Perkins would fit him as an aftermarket, or your dealer could fit it, but Ford in kind of, I suppose, decided that they were going to supply 6-cylinder engines as well after that. A bit like the County. Ford never made the County. I think it was County that was obviously County. They made the e27n, and Ford didn't think it would catch on. So Ford then turned around and they made the e2, and they dropped County. Yeah, beautiful, beautiful tractor. Magnificent tractor, weight wheels and all in the back of it. What a fantastic machine. Now let's give a look at the baler. Like I said, the baler has an Armstrong Siddeley engine. But I think I've done a bit of research on it there. They were imported more or less flat pack into the UK from America. And of course the Continental engine wouldn't have been readily available in the UK. That's where Armstrong Siddeley were. So they fitted an Armstrong Siddeley engine to the UK built balers. But it would have come in flat pack from America at the start of the merger between Massey Ferguson and between Harry Ferguson rather and Massey Harris. Massey Harris and Harry Ferguson joined up very simply because Harry Ferguson originally got David Brown to build him gearboxes. He could get no one else to build it, and they built what they call the Ferguson Black. And the Ferguson Black then, that partnership kind of went sideways, and he joined up with David Brown. And you have the Massey Ferguson, or Massey, was it the Massey, the David Brown, I don't know what, I kind of forget to be honest. And then they joined up with Henry Ford, the famous handshake. And then he decided he was going to build Massey Ferguson tractors, or Harry Ferguson tractors in America with a Continental engine. And then he actually, eventually, it was Massey Harris actually bought him out eventually. There's a famous pub in America where Harry Ferguson and Massey Harris came together, and Harry Ferguson must have been a bit of a gambling man, because they gambled 100,000 on the difference price in the company on a toss of a coin. We'll follow him just here, back down to the bottom again. If you want to see the combines in action there, I got them in another video. There's two New Hollands, John Deere, Massey, and a very clean Dania working. We've all them in another video there. But anyway, as I was saying, they joined up then with, where was I? They joined up then with Massey Harris, and for a number of years it became the Massey Harris Ferguson. If you see a lot of 20 diesels and grey Fergusons, there would be a Massey Harris Ferguson badge on them, and it's because they what to call it, it's because they were just, there was a company. But after a number of years, of course, the Massey Harris now are the out and out owner. But after a number of years they dropped the Harris and they became Massey Ferguson. And I think for a while in America they were sold as two different things. There was Ferguson dealerships and there was Massey Harris dealerships. But eventually I suppose they merged them all together and it became Massey Ferguson. Because Brendan Ferris, the man driving this tractor, was responsible for threshing cancer in Beaufort. It went on for 10 years through COVID and all, and I think Brendan has somewhere in the region of, I think it's 301,000 donated to cancer research and cancer care and everything in Kerry. So fair play to you, Brendan. Like what in advance this must have been like, you know, we say when it would have come out in the 50s compared to the, I suppose before that you had the hay car. You would have had to bring in the hay loose into the shed and stock it inside in the loft. Like imagine this, imagine the contractor landing into your yard with this machine somewhere in the very early 50s. Like this would have been an absolute magnificent sight. The first thing they would have said was, where's he going with the big 6-cylinder tractor? See the knotter there? The knotter, as far as I know, was invented by a man by the name of Baxter. He was actually a jeweler that came up with the knotter, and more or less the same knotters today in every baler. Watch her now, she'll trip now in a second. There goes. And you have your feed roller then taken in the straw. Of course the straw is what's left over after the combine or the thrasher takes out the grain, and the straw will be used for bedding animals or for feeding animals or what throughout the long winter months. Alright guys, here's Brendan coming again. I'm really hoping they're going to put that Zeta Crystal over in the corner there, right inside going. It's a very, very clean. I'd say she's an 8011 Crystal. This is what it's all about here, lads, before we're waiting for Brendan. That's the ears of barley. As far as I know, the barley out of this cut is being sold to the brewery in Killarney. To make beer, kind of a local brewery in Killarney, so it doesn't go to waste, so it's going to a great cause. So guys, that's kind of it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you liked looking at the e27n and the story that how Perkins, I suppose, really got going. He also put engines into Massey Ferguson's. There's the P3, there's the P4, and there's the P6, and of course Ferguson, I'm not too sure of the very, very modern Fergusons, but Ferguson's is still using, Massey Ferguson's are still using Perkins engines right up until very, I suppose, lately. I'm not too sure if the big new Ferguson still have Perkins. And I suppose a bit of a twist to the story for you. Ferguson is actually, the new modern Fergusons are actually gone back to using a David Brown built gearbox. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed. Keep a like, give a subscribe, and we'll see you all in the next one. And we'll try and do another one. Hopefully they'll pull out that Zetter like I said, and we'll get another one for you. And fair play to everyone here at Fussa. And like I said, all the money raised here today is going to, I think it's Recovery Haven. See the packer there packing it down. We get one look at the bale. Watch the knotter there about to go again now. Suppose, like I said, I think there was a fella by the name of Charles Baxter moved into that knotter. And the bale just fall off then. Look how tight that's packed. Like I said, just cut the two cords, you lift it up, and that's it, away you go. We still have the combines combining away over us from here. So like I said earlier on, if you want to see the combines in action, I have them in a previous video as well. Alright guys, give a like, give a subscribe, and we'll see you all in the next one.